Some questions?
A question from Ajita Krishna Prabhu. What does Gaudiya Vaishnavism mean in general? And what is the sense of life for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas in the line of Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj in particular?
Srila Guru Maharaj, he was once explaining this Gaudiya, Gauda Desh, and the thinking along these lines. As in the most general sense, I think, it means with reference to Bengal. Right? But Guru Maharaj is reminding us, not Bengal really in a geographic sense, but conceptually, substantially. So, what can be described as that place, Gauda Desh? Guru Maharaj said, like there is the word Gaur, Gauda, and Gur. Gur is a particular stage of sweetness. When they have sugar cane juice, becomes thicker, turns into molasses, thicker into gur, along that way. So he's saying, really, we can conceive of it a land of sweetness. Then again, someone might think, oh yes, there's so many sweet shops in Bengal. Right? Sandesh, Rasgola, Misti Doi, Kirkadam, Rasaraj, so many different types of sweets. Did I mention Sandesh? Okay. And that's true. Gulab Jamun, Kalakand, Ras Malai, and so many sweets are there, varieties. And once Prabhupada said, Bengali sweets should be a part of everyday living. And I couldn't agree more. But land of sweetness in some, literal sense or culinary sense. Guru Maharaj is saying, really, it has to do with Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the distribution of the ultimate sweetness. So, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, at the conclusion of the Madhya Lila in Sri Chaitanya Charitamritam, he's actually drawing a comparison between Krishna Lila and Gaura Lila. He says, Krishna Lila Amrita Sar. Krishna Lila is Amrita Sar. It's like the cream of nectarine substances. It would be enough if it was nectar, but he's saying Amrita Sar. Like the French have this expression, it's kind of used and been imported into many different languages. Crème de la crème means the cream of the cream. So he's saying, Krishna Lilamrita Sar. It's if nectar, the cream of nectar would rise to the top, that would be Krishna Lila. Because nectar is there in a general sense, right? It could be applied in different ways. There's nectarine pastimes. The Lord, in His varieties of incarnations and avatars. But as we were reading the other day, on Krishna Janmashtami, the beginning of the 10th canto, it's being mentioned that what was described previously in the 9 cantos before, or what the concluding part of the 9th canto, these pastimes did not culminate in expressing the ultimate sweetness. Again, Prishte Brahmyaramanda Mandaragiri Gravagya Kanduyanan Nidralo Kamatakriter Kanduyanan Fasvani La Parthiva. When the gods and the asuras, the devas and the asuras, are churning the milk ocean in the Mandara hill on the back of Matsya, Kurma avatar with Vasuki, and they're churning, and we're told they're seeking nectar. Why is this significant in the Bhagavatam? And I asked Srila Guru Maharaj why it is, not only is it there in the 9th canto, but it occurs again in the very last chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And he said, in summary, that what are they trying to achieve? Nectar. Amrita. In Sanskrit, there's mrityu, means death. Amrita means deathless. So it's this legendary substance, in the general sense, this legendary substance, Amrita, nectar, that if you can get that, you become deathless or immortal. Which is not like, oh, that's like ancient mythology. No, it's everybody before us, including us. No one wants to die. Right? It is anathema for the soul to contemplate death as some sort of final extinction. Right? Although we know we're in the world of mortality and it's inevitable, still we cannot digest death. So we are in denial about it in every way. Although the news is almost exclusively death notices. Every day, whether it's from the latest type of disease, from a mosquito, or from the water, the air that we pollutants, contaminants, terrorism, STDs, cancer, highway death. The news is composed almost exclusively of death notices, memento mori, death reminders. And we see that, and we're thankful it's not us or our loved ones, but the news, in summary, is saying that ultimately you're going to have to deal with us. So there's two ways to deal with it: science or religion. Right? Science or technology, and they're promising, it's always just around the corner, And religion, it's, up in heaven. So both groups could be accused of not delivering on this. Right? The Bhagavatam makes an extreme expression when it says, Guru na sasyat, swajano na sasyad, pita na sasyan, mi na sasyan. What's the last line? Namochaya samupeta mrityum. There's the word again. And it's interesting. It says, you shouldn't become a guru unless you can deliver your disciple from death. But it doesn't only say guru. It says, guru nasashat swajani nasat pita nasat. You shouldn't become a father, a parent, if you can't deliver your child from death. Or a spouse. It mentions also deity. Mentions all of these traditionally Guru Varga positions. A teacher. You should not take any of these positions unless you can liberate your ward, your disciple, your student, your child. And we think, well, who can do that? You just said we're living in the world where of mortality, it's inescapable. We speak of inescapable death. So, but the Bhagavatam is saying here, the implication is that there is some way. Nivrittatar shairupagiyamanat bhavoshadat shotra manobhiramat kautama gunadavadat. That we heard in the Bhagavatam, Bhava Oshud. This is the medicine for those in the world of death. Kona Rajan and Indriyavan, similar sloka. Mukunda Charanam Bhujam. So it's saying, because we have senses, we can hear about Krishna, we can see the deity, Manobhiramat, we can hear the pastimes of Krishna. It's like sprinkling nectar on your mind and heart and soul. Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayo Vachamsi Gunan Vaikuntha Gunanuvarnane Ambarish Maharaj. He used everything. His mind and always thinking of the lotus feet of Krishna and always speaking spiritual subject matters. He didn't depute that to others. He did these things personally. Tava katamritam. Kata. Amrit. The topics of you are kata amrita. Again, there may appear like ordinary talks about someone, but they're saying, talks about you, they bring us in connection with that nectarine substance. When we think, because we want to live forever, like the Devas and the Asuras, Guru Maharaj said, no, what we're being told there is the object of their search was nectar. And by inference, the ultimate nectarine substance. The reason this pastime is being included in the Bhagavatam is saying the ultimate nectarine substance is Madhura Rasa, sweet, Gauda, Gur, sweetness. The ultimate sweetness is Krishna himself. So, there's Krishna Lilamrita Sar. But we're told also that Krishna Lila is the exclusive domain of the highest section of liberated souls. Not just generic liberated souls. Like we think, well, to be a liberated soul, that's a great thing. They're saying, that doesn't mean you're necessarily in Krishnaville. Muktanam api siddhanam narayana parayana. Kotishvape Muhammad. It said, out of Kotishvape Muhammad, out of 10 million liberated souls, here it says, one may be a devotee of Narayan. And Guru Maharaj said, with that, he said, even that is too much. 1 in 10 million. Liberate, not just 1 in 10 million people, 1 in 10 million liberated souls. Then someone might say, well, then what are we doing? What chance have we got? No chance. We're mercy cases. Through mercy, it's possible. Otherwise, Krishna Leela is the exclusive domain of liberated soul, of the highest section of liberated souls. We hear the frogs, the birds, the insects, etc. Das Goswami said, Yat kinchit vigumaki kato mukam goste samastamitab sarvananda mukunda doitam lilanukulam param. He's showing high respect for even the insects in the Dham, saying they're Mukunda Doita. They're dear to Mukunda, Krishna, and they're contributing to the environment in different ways. They do. We know in this world we call it what? The ecosphere. Right? We think like, what use are they? Right? Or they're annoying. But actually, we know without a deep study of ecology, like even these insects, the tiniest living being, biological being in this world, is actually contributing in some way. That's an amazing thing, actually. They're all contributing somehow. That's why the more cautious scientists, they're like careful about eliminating and creating some imbalance in the ecosystem. Right? So these extreme measures are some more cautious or skeptical about that. So they say they're actually contributing in some way. So if we can understand that here, right, then what to speak of in the spiritual world? So Raghunath Das Goswami, because we think, Raghunath Das Goswami, the Prayojan Tattva Acharya of the Gaudiya line, he's giving his dandavats and showing his respect to the insects and the everything and the Dham, saying Lilanukul, but they're contributing to Leela, to Krishna's pastime. So we'll hear sometimes descriptions that, because we should know, there are no yogis in Vrindavan, there's no jnanis in Vrindavan, what to speak of karmis. Right? But what do we hear there? There's birds, bumblebees, and like we hear the king of the bumblebees. Here we hear them humming. There he's also humming, but when they listen closely, what he's saying, he's madly engaged in Krishna Katha. The king of the bumblebees. And everyone's listening to him and he's mad, like he's relishing some sweetness, and he's dancing and singing about Krishna. And everyone is listening to that. We're told that the birds in the trees, they are highly realized souls. To be a bird in Vrindavan, highly realized liberated souls. And they're on the tree, and they hear the sound of Krishna's flute, and because they're also Chinmoy, they're fully advanced in deep Krishna consciousness, some ecstasy is coming to them. And so that with their remaining strength, they hold on to the branches of the tree. They're trying not to fall out of the tree. They're so ecstatic. They're like stunned and realize, I'm going to fall out of the tree. So they're holding on to the branch, listening to the flute of Krishna in ecstasy. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he, after he took sannyas, went to Puri. Puri is his base because Mother Sachi approved that. Then he's going to South India and other places. Everyone he meets, he's demonstrating the superiority of Krishna conception, converting everyone in his Nam Sankirtan. And for like 2 years, then back in Puri. And he has the idea, since the moment he took sannyas to go to Vrindavan, Kahan Krishna, Prananath Murli Badan, Kahan Karun, Kahan Pan, Brajendra Nandan. But he is running madly, and Guru said, in a childlike state in divine madness, and without any apparent plan how to go to Vrindavan, just wanting to run toward Krishna. And we'd say the pull of the hearts of the devotees is keeping him circumambulating in Gauramandal. So in Puri, he would like to go, devotees always delaying, giving some excuse, 1 year, 2 years. And now he's saying, please, really, I would like to go to Vrindavan. And the devotees, they cannot, it's very difficult for them to give their heart's approval, because separation from Mahaprabhu will break their hearts. But they're saying, you are totally free and independent. But they send Gadadhar Pandit. What better personality? And Gadadhar Pandit is saying, you're completely free to do anything and everything that you wish. But if you will just stay here for the next 4 months, the Chaturmasya is after Chaturmasya, those 4 months, and difficult to travel. And at the end of that time, then go to Vrindavan. And so, heartfelt is the plea of Gadadhar Pandit, and Mahaprabhu agrees to that. But then that time does come, and he wants to go by himself, because previously when Mahaprabhu is traveling from one holy place to another, hundreds of thousands, even millions of people are following him. They're all ecstatic. They want to have a glimpse of his divine form. They're chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And Sanatan Goswami Prabhu told him, this will not be the way to go to Vrindavan with so many, but small. So Mahaprabhu says, actually, I just want to go alone. And the devotees, all right. But yes, you will go alone. But if one Brahmin you can take who will beg for you, do a little cooking, and Mahaprabhu says, all right, I can accept one, but it can't be that I select from my devotees. It should be, because everyone, if they're not selected, it creates some difficulties. So take someone who's just like a new man. That's who he asked for. And they say, oh, we have one, Balabhadra. he's like that. He's a very simple-hearted person and a pundit. He would be good. And so they say, all right, you'll go alone except for this one man. And then if you can have just one other man to carry like your danda and your water, he's like, all right. So 2 men. And we know Mahaprabhu was going to not by the main road, but through the forest, the Jharikanda forest, where there are snakes, tigers, mad elephants. And his associates, they're afraid that we're told Vrindavan is that place where, in Vrindavan, as I mentioned, where all these animals are, everyone gets along. Right? Human being, tiger, everyone. And Mahaprabhu, he's carrying that divine movement with him. At one point on the road, there was a tiger sleeping, and he might have kicked it or touched it with his lotus feet, and then he slapped the tiger, and his devotee said, oh no, and the tiger against it, and Mahaprabhu says, Bolo, Krishna Bolo, Hare Krishna. And the tiger starts chanting Hare Krishna and dancing madly. And the devotees are thinking, what is this? A tiger is chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and dancing madly. And he goes to bathe in the river. Some mad elephants come there. And Mahaprabhu just splashes water on them. And because the water comes from his divine hands and touches them, they're transformed. Then he commands them to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And Guru Maharaj said, the vibration is so fine, it's penetrating all the dense animal layers of consciousness and touching their hearts, and then they're madly singing and dancing. Just a group of mad elephants. They're singing and dancing. Some of them are on the ground. They're they're pounding the ground. Other elephants are screaming. They can't stand it. But it's meant, and this way Mahaprabhu, he's thinking, oh, Krishna is very kind to me, because he's alone more or less in the Jharikanda forest. His assistant collecting some forest spinach and forest vegetables, and they cook that, and he's very happy. But he's on his way to Vrindavan. So we're told, as ecstatic as he was in Jagannath Puri, that just knowing that he's going to Vrindavan, his ecstasy multiplied 100 times. Just like sometimes the devotees, when they know they're going to, they get very excited. But here it's Mahaprabhu. So his ecstasy increased 100 times on the way. When he got to Mathura, it increased 1,000 times when he reached Krishna's birthplace. And then he began visiting the different forests in Vrindavan. And we're told his ecstasy increased hundreds of thousands of times. We can't conceive. And there, the trees, they're shedding tears of nectar, they're bent over, they're offering fruits. Deer come, cows come, they're all licking the form of Mahaprabhu. And while there, 2 birds, 2 parrots, Suk and Sari, a couple, male bird, female parrot, they land on the fingers of Mahaprabhu. He's already in this deep, ecstatic condition, and these 2 parrots land on his fingers, and they start singing Sanskrit verses because they're exalted, one of the most exclusive section of liberated souls. And the male bird is singing in praise of Krishna, the female bird is singing in praise of Radharani. And the male bird, he's saying that Krishna, he is Madan Mohan, he's attracting everyone. Even Cupid is bewildered by the beauty of Krishna, and he's stolen the hearts of all the Brajagopis. And the female parrot, sorry, she's saying, that's true when Radha Sangeet, when he's in the association of Srimati Radharani. Otherwise, he himself is bewildered by her beauty. And they're talking back and forth. Beautiful Sanskrit verses. So Krishna Lilamrita Sar, the highest section of liberated souls. No one can enter there. Isn't Lilamrita Sar? Tar Shata Shata Dar, Das Dike, Jaha Jaha Hoite, Se Chaitanya Lila Hoy, Sarovra Akshoy, Manasa Hangsa Chara Kahate. But Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying, but what is Chaitanya Lila, Gaur Lila? Is the magnanimous distribution of this ultimate nectarine substance. As Vrindavan and Krishna Lila is Madhurja, Gaur Lila is Odarja, the distribution of what is normally inaccessible. So Das Dike means in the 10 directions, north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, etc., and then up, down, 10 directions. I mean, being distributed everywhere. That's what is Gaur Lila. So when we say Gaudiya Vaishnavas means, and the Odarja mode, the distribution mode of Krishna Lila, of Chaitanya Lila. Yata yata Gaura Padara Vinde Vindeta Bhaktim Krita Punya Rasi Tata Tatot Sarpati Hridya Kazmat Radha Padamboja Sudamburasi. Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur is saying, give your full attention to Gaur Lila. Vindeta Bhaktim Krita Punya Rasi, Guru Maharaj said, is similar to the Bhagavatam statement, Yajanti hi sumedasa, that those who are sukritivan, of refined theistic intellect, they will observe this unique aspect of Gaudiya Vaishnavism or Gaur Lila, that it is Navadip is Vrindavan in distribution mode. Srila Guru Maharaj said, every atom of Navadip is capable of giving Vrindavan in full. So for those who have no realistic hope of entering Vrindavan, told Navadip, every atom is capable of giving Vrindavan in full. Gaur Lila is the entrance to Krishna Lila. And Guru Maharaj went so far as to say that Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan, it's the Rasa Lila in distribution mode, recruiting mode. So the Gaudiya Vaishnavas means, and their emphasis on Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Who is Gauranga Mahaprabhu? Radha Krishna Militatanu. Radha and Krishna combined. Jari Gaur Nahoita, Tabe ki hoita, Kamoni Daritam Dehe. Radhar Mahima Prema Rasasima Jagata Janatake. Krishna has descended Radha Baba Duty Subolita, enveloped by the heart of Srimati Radharani, and the radiance of that heart has turned Shama Sundar Krishna into Gauranga Sundar, like in the Saraswat Arati song. And that Krishna he's broadcasting Radhar Mahima, the glories of Srimati Radharani, and Prema Rasa Simha. The highest type of Prem Rasa means Mahabhav. So when Srila Guru Maharaj composed the Mat Pranam, Srimat Chaitanya Saraswata Matabara Udgita Kirtir Jayasrim, saying it's Udgita Kirtir Jayasrim. It's broadcasting loudly in a profound way the glories of Srimati Radharani, Jai Sri. Vibrat Sambati Ganga Tata, on the banks of the Ganga, Ganga Tata, Nikata, Navadvipa Koladri Raje, Koler Danga, Adri, Koladri Raje, Adri Raj, like Hantaya Madrila Bala Haridasa Vajra, means Gupta Govardhan, Adri Raj Govardhan, here Gupta Govardhan. Yatra Sri Gaura Saraswata Nirata Gora Gata Grananti, with its emphasis on singing the glories of Mahaprabhu. Nityam Rupa Nuga Sri Kritimati Guru Gauranga Radha Jitasha. And in the Rupa Nuga, in the line of Sri Rupa Goswami, with the aspiration to serve Radhika Madhavasam, Radha Dasyam. That is their aspiration. So when we say Gaudiya Darshan, means the way of seeing of Mahaprabhu, right? And the Rupa Nuga line. That way of seeing Sri Gauranamatham's Rupa Viditam, that is unique to Swarup Damodar and the Rupa Nuga line. Their insight to the actual internal identity of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bahiranga Sange Kore Nama Sankirtan, Antaranga Sange Kore Rasa Aswadan. Mahaprabhu, in his public service, he's distributing Nam Sankirtan. In his private life, Rasa Aswadan, behind closed doors in the company of Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy. So really, in a nutshell, it's the line of distribution of the ultimate sweetness of Vrindavan, of Krishna Leela, and the aspiration for the service of the holy lotus feet of Srimati Radharani.
A question from Anakshi Didi. Connotation increases, denotation decreases. Could you please be so kind to bring this concept closer?
To be so kind as to?
To bring this concept closer, to explain it.
Yeah, as connotation increases, denotation decreases. Means, as an example, Srila Guru Maharaj mentioned Bhagavad Gita. So if we say, who appreciates Bhagavad Gita? We'll say, well, devotees of Krishna, devotees of Vishnu, devotees of Ramachandra, the Muslim president of India, Kalam, he read a chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day. So Mayavadis like the Bhagavad Gita, Madhva school, Ramanujan, Gaudiya. Then, in the Western world, so many scholars, poets, thinkers have appreciated Bhagavad Gita all over Europe. In America, Thoreau, the American transcendentalist Thoreau, Emerson, Whitman, Thoreau said, what did he say? That quote, in the morning I bathe my intellect in the stupendous and cosmogonal glory of Bhagavad Gita, in comparison with which our modern literature seem puny. So many are appreciating Bhagavad Gita. Right? But if we increase, that's what is denoted. Who appreciates Bhagavad Gita? It denotes all of these people. But if we increase the connotation and say, yes, but as we were talking here earlier, Gaudiya, Bhagavad Gita must be understood in the light of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then the group starts to narrow. We've increased the connotation, not just Bhagavad Gita, but Bhagavad Gita in the light of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? Then we're left primarily with Vaishnavas. Not everyone will accept that. So as the connotation increases, the quality of what is being said, then the quantity is less. Then if we say, so then we're left with Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the Ramanuja Sri Vaishnavas, the Madhva, Tattva, like that. And then we say, yes, but, and Srimad Bhagavatam should be understood as given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? Then you're left with, as the connotation has been increased more and more, now you're left exclusively with Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So another way of putting it is, as the quality of what is being expressed, then the quantity becomes reduced. As we were talking before about Vrindavan, saying the highest section of liberated souls. But one point we should add here, this should not make us think then, oh, so there's it's very few souls who can attain that plane, but should we think that it's not extensive would be incorrect. Guru Maharaj sometimes reminds us, I would say, Sudurlabha Bhagavata Hiloke. In this world, it's very rare to find a pure Vaishnava, a pure devotee. Right? Sudurlabha. Durlabha means rare, and Sudurlabha means very rare to come in connection with such a soul, saint. But Guru Maharaj reminds us, that's talking about in this world. In the upper world, everyone there is of that nature. As we were talking before, the birds in the trees are liberated souls. The environment, the trees are liberated souls. And again, there's gradation, and everywhere and everything. If we look in the Goloka Mahatmya section of the Brihad Bhagavatamritam, we'll see, as it's concluding, that there's this praise of Goloka Vrindavan beginning with the soil, Vaikunter Pritivyari Sakala Chenmoy. The soil of Vaikuntha is also Chenmoy. Toyam Amritam, the water is nectar. So the soil is exalted, the insects, the trees, the birds, the beasts, the animals, there's a gradation. Then to the cows, the Shanta Rasa, then Dasya Rasa, Sakya Rasa friends, the Gopi, Nanda Yashoda, Vatsalya Rasa, and the Braja Gopis, and then amongst all the Braja Gopis, Srimati Radharani. So, what was the question?
To explain concept that connotation increases, denotation.
Oh, connotation. Right, see, there we just described. Rasa. What if we increase Shanta, passive, Dasya, servitorship, starting Sakya, friendship, Vatsalya, Madhura, then Madhur, divided into Swakiya, Parakiya. So, and Saraswati Thakur went so far as to say, here you go, Vrindavana hoite Shrestha Govardhana Shaila, Gandharvika Giridhari, Jata Kridda Koila. There's Vrindavan, he's saying, but superior to Vrindavan pastimes or pastimes in Govardhan? Superior to pastimes in Govardhan or pastimes in Radhakund? Then he went as so far as to give another differentiation. Radhakunda on the tata, the bank, and Radhakunda in the water. This is as connotation increases, denotation decreases. So the Prestalibi, it's a, and the end of the Upadeshamrita, the indication is there. The waters of Radhakunda are a rare achievement even for the Parama Preshta Sakis, the highest, most intimate girlfriends of Srimati Radharani. It's a rare achievement for them. So how high is Krishna consciousness? How high, noble, and worth sacrificing for? Anything substantial and noble is worth sacrifice. And Guru Maharaj makes a point. Like in this world, you have to sacrifice. So, for that world, should it be less of a sacrifice? Equal to the sacrifices that are required here? Or greater than that? And in one sense, it seems unfair. Even if the finite sacrifices everything, is it fair they get the infinite? That the infinite devotion is observed, where the infinite comes under the control of the finite. You would think, finite surrenders everything, so then reciprocate with a finite amount for the finite. That would be the result of directly approaching Krishna. But the devotees, Gaudiya line means promoting Radharani, Radhadasyam. They're saying, Rasaraj Krishna, Mahabhav, Radharani. Means Rasaraj, Krishna is the king of rasa. Akila Rasamrita Murti, he's ecstasy personified. Okay. So think, here's a finite soul interacting with Krishna, and there's Radharani interacting with Krishna. What can the finite exact from Krishna? Like go to the ocean with your bucket, and your bucket is filled with ocean water. You're happy, right? There's ocean, one bucket filled of ocean water. You've got something. A drop of the infinite is also infinite. But in the case of Srimati Radharani, Saraswati Thakur is saying, there's the predominating moiety, half Krishna, predominated moiety, half Srimati Radharani. And as I like to say, she's the better half of the sweet absolute. And she can interact with Krishna as he's an ocean of nectar. She can extract the entire ocean in quantity and quality. So this strategy of Radhadasyam, Radhika Madhavasham, is very sensible actually in the Rupa Nuga line. They're thinking, no one can extract a higher quality of rasa or higher quantity of rasa from Krishna than Srimati Radharani. We should promote her. And out of gratitude, she is nourishing her servitors with Mahabhav. There's nothing that compares to this. Right? That's also talking about connotation and denotation. Prem, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav. So, and Mahaprabhu, he wants to share, distribute what he's tasting. When one devotee was astonished to hear Guru Maharaj's representation of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was sort of shaking his head and thinking, why does Krishna, as Mahaprabhu, want to distribute this to the most fallen? And Guru Maharaj is referring, Rupa Goswami, Namo Mahavaranaya Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gortase Namah. He's described as the most magnanimous. Right? So Guru Maharaj said, what is the conception of the greatest magnanimity? He said, considering who he is, he said, should he come here and give out some stone chips to everybody? He's saying, no, not only should he give something valuable, but he wants to give of what he estimates that there's nothing more valuable than this. And here we have to trust Krishna's judgment, right? He's omniscient, he's Krishna, he should know, right? I mean, we should give the benefit of the doubt. He's omniscient after all. Right? So Krishna, Rasaraj Krishna, on a comparison between what it's like to be Rasaraj or enveloped in the heart and halo of Radharani, he's saying, this is 10 million times greater than what I'm experiencing. I think, oh, he must be exaggerating. He's Krishna. Krishna, what better canvasser could you have? Right? Who could give a greater endorsement for something than Krishna? So in the sloka in the Bhagavatam, Naparayeham Niravadi Samyujam, Krishna is saying, because in Bhagavad Gita it says, Yayatam mam prapadyante tam sateva bhajamyaham. As they surrender to me, I surrender to them. Right? What that means, becomes slave of Krishna, becomes the slave of that devotee. It's a very high thing. But interestingly here, and then the Bhagavatam goes further with the mukti dadati karicit svana bhakti yogam, saying Krishna is very clever. He sees someone's asking for devotion, but they don't really want, they want something else, gives them mukti, go away. Then some devotee, who's really a devotee at heart, they're asking Krishna for mundane things. Krishna won't give it to them, because he knows really they want devotion. Maybe he'll take everything away from them. And we're going, oh, I don't know if I want to be a devotee. Right? Yasyaham anugranami harishe tadanam shanai. What's that part about Krishna taking everything away from someone he favors? Is that a good thing? But with the gopis, Krishna saying, your love is so pure, I can't reciprocate it. So, as the expression is, let virtue be its own reward. They're saying, it's the kind, normally I have this deal, you surrender me, I surrender you, but in your case, even giving my whole self to you, it's insufficient for what's in your hearts. That's amazing. Mai bhaktir hi bhutanam amritatyaya kalpate distya marasin mat sneho bhavatinam marapana. Krishna is saying, everybody in the world wants me. If they know anything, they want me, a connection with me. Whether they're karmis, gyanis, yogis, whatever. It's me, extensions of me, they want. And if they get that, they think they hit the lottery, they've got everything. Yam labha chapram labham manyate nadikam tataha. There's nothing greater than this. And that's all true. Saying, but what about me? That's true for all of the people in this world. All the karmis, gyanis, yogis, everybody. It's not untrue, it's true. Saying, but what about me? He's revealing his heart. Krishna is saying, I consider myself fortunate that I am the object of the sweet, pure love that is in your hearts. To me, that's the greatest wealth. Can Krishna be that personal and intimate and loving and affectionate? Yes, he's saying that I'm the object of the sort of love that is in your heart. That's my good fortune. So, Krishna Moyi, no one can give more Krishna than Srimati Radharani. She is Krishna consciousness personified. Krishna's that ultimate nectarine sweet, she can extract the highest quality and the highest quantity of rasa from Krishna. That's why she's Mahabhav. Mahabhav Swarupini Radha Thakurani. And in gratitude to her serving, saying, here, have a taste of what we're tasting. And meaning Mahabhav, which is beyond the constitutional capacity of a jiva soul to experience directly. And Guru Maharaj said, once you've had a taste of that divine substance, what to speak of all other taste, all other rasas become tasteless. So Srila Guru Maharaj, he could say, as he did something, he said, when I think of Srimati Radharani, he said, I lose my existence. I can't even fathom that. But he said that. When I think of Radharani, I lose my existence. And he said, and other than this, meaning Mahaprabhu's line, talking this Gaudiya line, Rupanuga, Gaudiya, all of that, Mahaprabhu, Radharani, he said, everything else is trash. He could say that. Our difficulty is we're attached to the most absurd, trivial, temporal things. But by the grace of such Vaishnavas, they're the cause, ultimately, of our capacity to have some appreciation for these things. And by serving them and by the heart's affection being drawn into their plane. So we're told by serving such Vaishnavas, and that opportunity, by the grace of our Guru Varga, is being given to it. The sort of the devotion that is in the heart of such Vaishnavas is transferred to the heart of the servitor. That's a very beautiful, wonderful thing, and filled with hope and aspiration. Hare Krishna. Anything else on these lines?
Is it important to know a word-for-word translation of the bhajans, or its meaning should be revealed to a sincere person? And did Kol and Kartals appear at the same time with Mahaprabhu and his paraphernalia, or were they known before?
The Kol and Kartals, Gomer says, are the eternal paraphernalia of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But they were there, but being used in different ways. It's all part of the pastimes. So they're there, but it depends. There are some pure devotees, very few, for different times. But really, what comes with Mahaprabhu, it's his eternal paraphernalia in the Kol and Kartals. And Avritir Sarva Shastranam Bodhadapi Gariyasi. It's more important to continually vibrate the songs repeatedly, and gradually some understanding will come. We become in time acquainted with the words. We see, here's what the words are in Bengali or Sanskrit, here's the translation. But gradually they'll become meaningful to us. Some of these words do not translate so well out of Sanskrit or Bengali, like Nam Sankirtan, or Krishna Prem, Mahabhav, Rasaraj. By continually hearing these things with explanations and we'll express a preference for the original. Just like we could say, I mean, it's a crude example, comparisons are odious, but like opera is in Italian for the most part, right? And you say, well, you can put opera in Chinese or English or Russian. You can. But there are the purists, we could say, would argue, no, leave it as it is in the original language, become acquainted with what is being expressed there. There's a certain charm to the original language and the poetic construction and all those things. Don't alter or modify that. Let's say, learn to appreciate it as it is. In time, you'll get some insight to what is being expressed. So I said, it's a crude example, but if it ever applied to anything, it's to here. We want to become acquainted with Sanskrit and Bengali. First, because it's what is being spoken in the spiritual world. They're not just arbitrary languages. Although, what's actually spoken by Srimati Radharani, in 1-2 places, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives the original words that she spoke, and all we can say it's indescribable sweetness, because we're told the Devanagari, Sanskrit, Deva, the gods, it's for speaking to gods, but the Brij Bole and other languages, they're the cowherd girls, they're not scholars as gopis, although really they are. They suppress their scholarship because we find they can do incredible wordplay with Sanskrit meaning. You see in the works of Raghunath Das Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and others. And they wrote their books in Sanskrit. So the Braja Gopis are posing, as Guru Maharaj once said, half-civilized, silly jungle girls, and what's describing their pastimes written in this very complex, high Sanskrit by Raghunath Das Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. They're writing in Sanskrit. They speak Bengali, but their books are all written in Sanskrit. So these two languages, they're not just arbitrary, they're important for us. And we want to become familiar and acquainted with certain words. The word rasa is actually very difficult to translate. Right? You just have to start streaming words. But the word rasa, by hearing repeatedly, seeing it in context, it becomes meaningful. And if we consider it as a service, just as Srila Guru Maharaj, his approach to the Gayatri Mantram, he's saying he thinks of each word as a person. And he's praying to each one if they consider him fit to reveal themselves to him. So, Uttama Shloka Lilaya, one of Krishna's names is Uttama Shloka. Like, why all this emphasis on slokas and Siddhanta? Krishna is Siddhanta. Krishna is the slokas. Uttama Shloka. It's one of his names. So they are mystic sound vibrations. We will benefit by repeatedly vibrating them to the point of where just vibrating them will become a tasteful, a tasteful matter. Like if you hear Srila Gurudev chanting, singing these shlokas, he's doing it with great relish, as did Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. But Srila Govinda Maharaj, he comes to mind as the relish with which he would express the language. It's as if he was chewing on something very tasteful in his mouth while doing that. Because he was. And as he pointed out, as example, Veda Vyas, say in the beginning, Janmad yasya yatanvayaditur taschar teshu abhigyasvarat. This type of language. He said, like the dance of elephants. You're like wowed, but you don't want to come close. Saying, but when he comes, the same Veda Vyas, when he comes to Gopi Gita, Tava katam ritam tapta jivanam kavibe iditam komasa apaham. You understand there, these words. It says, ta, tapta, tava katam ritam, tava katam ritam tapta jivanam, kavibir iditam kalmasa apaham, sravana mangalam srimad atatam, bhuvi grananti te burida jana. And the Gita Govinda, the line that would just hearing the first few words would send Mahaprabhu into ecstasy. And the beauty of Jayadev's poetry, because of Lalita Lavanga Lata Parishilana Kamala Malaya Samire Maru Karabi Karakaramita Kila Kujita Kunja Kutire. So it's like Lalita Lavanga Lata La 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 Parishilana Kamala Malaya Samire Maru Karabi Karambita Kokila Ka then Kujita Kunja Kujita Kunja Kutire Ku. So it's like la 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 ka ku. Lalita Lavanga Lata Parishilama Kamala Malaya Samire Maru Karabi Karakarambita Kokila Kujita Kunja Kutire. We need to learn that. We don't need to know what it means. Just hearing it and speaking it will become happy. Actually, you'll actually become happy within this world, within this lifetime. And Lalita Kanti, she's the mistress of language. So she especially should give some, because she has some gift for language. But everybody, really, we'll all be happy vibrating these shlokas. Learn one, two, learn as many as you can. And it's something you keep with you for the rest of your life. If you learn a shloka, I guarantee, if you memorize a shloka, of course it has to be like sanctioned, actually, and it is, certainly. You learn that, you will never forget it. It will come to you. You remember one word and the whole thing will come out and you'll be surprised. Some of these shlokas with my friends, with Vaishnava Maharaj, Sridhar Prabhu, Puskar Prabhu, some other, we learned these shlokas in the 1970s and maybe didn't use them since that time. And still, you can remember them and recite them. I think this is some kind of mystically wonderful thing. How is it possible? But if we approach it in the spirit of service, then they will reveal themselves to us. And when we call upon them, if we call upon them in a mood of service, they will reveal more about themselves in time. And when Guru Maharaj and Gurudev would travel on the train or somewhere on a long trip, people play games. Some people play cards, they play Scrabble, or, do different things. Guru Maharaj and Gurudev would play the shloka game. And whatever is the last syllable of it says, Marukara Vikara Korambita Koli Kujita Kunja Kuti Re. So if it ends on Re, then you have to start with Ra. Ra, that's a tough one. Ra. Well, what would be one? Ramante Yogino Anante Sachira Ananda Chiratmani. Ends on Ni. What would be Ni? Nikila Bhuvanamaya Chinavachinakarti. And you have to do the whole. Guru Maharaj, you can't just do a line, you have to do the whole. Vilasatu Bhakti Siddhanta Vani. Oh, it ends on Ni again. But Na. You could say Na. Nadanam Najanam the Sundarim Kavidamba Jagadisha Kamayi. Mama Janmani Jamani Shri Bhavatir Bhaktir Haituki Twayi. Ya. Yani Sha Sarvabhunanam. That way, Guru Maharaj would do one, Govinda Maharaj do one, back and forth. This is. So even Guru Maharaj has a game that you can play that will liberate you. That's liberating. Leela. Hare Krishna.